Kia ora and welcome back once again, here with another reaction video, this time to the Navy SEALs Class of 234 Part 1. Welcome to Buds. I've not done a reaction to a Navy SEALs video before. I've seen bits and pieces of Navy SEALs selection courses, well, I assume they're Navy SEALs selection courses and other American Special Forces selection courses over the years, but I don't recall ever seeing this one. So this one goes for about 45 minutes. I'm not going to go for the whole 45 minutes. I'll look to maybe do the first 10, 15 minutes thereabouts, and then hit pause, stop it, and then do another reaction the next day to the next part. So anyway, if that's what you're here for, then you've come to the right place. So let's jump on in and check it out. All right, let's go to play. 114 students of Class of 234 entered a pre-training program to prepare themselves for a 6-month-long training course required to become US Navy SEALs. 5 weeks later, on the first day of training, 83 remain. Okay, well, 114. 5 weeks later, on the first day of training, 83 remain. 5 weeks later. That's not too bad. I mean, 83 still out of 114 students after the first 5 weeks. So 6 months long seems like there's maybe modeled off, or I don't know, but the 22 SA selection goes for 6 months. So maybe that's some similarity. Maybe that's where they got it from, or maybe they got it from 22. Who knows? But anyway, 83 out of 114 that applied. That's not too bad. 5 weeks into it.
In the first minutes of day one at Bud's training in Coronado, California, Class 234 is falling apart.
2 minutes! You don't make it? Guess what happens? You do it again!
Trying to obey impatient SEAL instructors, Class 234 is completely disoriented in the pre-dawn cold of late November. In the darkness, there isn't time for the instructors or the television cameras to learn 83 names. It won't matter. Buds has a failure rate of over 70%. Of the 83 students pictured here, only 16 will graduate 6 months from now.
Oh. All right, cool. Okay, so only 16 end up graduating this course, which started with 100 and something, 114? Yeah, something like that. So there's 83 right now, 5 weeks in. By the time they finish, if I heard her right, there's 16 that graduate. Okay.
1, 2.
Every student harbors an inner belief that he can become a Navy SEAL. But when seconds seem like hours, enduring the moment can challenge anyone's commitment.
Oh, that was a saggy bat. You're on 7. You started out with 10 and you've knocked out 20 so far because you're sad. You're weak. Here's 8, 9, 10. I tell you what, when you're told to do something, you do it right. If you're doing a set of push-ups, you do them right. You want to screw off, I'll catch you every time, and I'll make you pay.
Sleeper over here?
You will pay. And that goes for when I turn my back and I walk away. Because that's when I look at you the most. It's one way to get somebody fired up to get them moving is just give them extra pressure and say, you know what, every evolution I'm going to be watching you.
Cracks me up. And that goes for especially when I walk away. Because when I walk away, that's when I look at you the most. Hard case. They have a way of trying to get into your head, making you doubt yourself and everything that it is that you're trying to do. You're weak. Yeah. All of that gets thrown at you.
And paying attention and making sure that you're doing the same thing that all of your buddies are doing.
Do it again! You guys get out of here!
Making a guy realize that he has to put out equally with his buddies. Basis of teamwork is being able to have a little bit of self-motivation, be able to carry your own weight.
number are you on, Cheney? You're on 3. I didn't say 4. Don't you wish you were moving a little faster?
Day one is a wake-up. It's welcome to Buds. To kind of get introduced to all the instructors.
What I can say is on the New Zealand and the Australian selection courses, even though the selection portions are a sort of a separate piece, you're constantly being selected and assessed right through till you're actually badged, and then even then you've got to continue to earn your place, that daily renewable contract. But we didn't have the instructors with hoses holding them on our face or on our chin or on our bodies during the selection. There's plenty of other things, and there's videos that you can watch of that online, but watching this is just ruthless. Just put in, and I'm sure that water coming through is nice and cold as well, just for the extra.
Intensity level as far as being right in their face for everything, every minute, every second they're out here is definitely at a higher level.
If you train them out, James, don't give in to the pain. You just adjust for it. That's it. Minor adjustment. If you can't do it perfect, then you just change it a little bit. Don't give in to the pain and quit.
It's interesting as well, excuse me, listening to this here, how loud and how verbally active the instructors are with regards to speaking to and or engaging. And almost there, when he's saying don't give in to the pain, just adjust it a little bit and keep going. It's almost like, to me it sounds like encouragement. And so the big difference is, at least in my experience on both New Zealand and Australia, in comparison to what I'm just seeing and hearing there, is there's no encouragement. There's no giving you tips or advice. Yep, there's the whispers in the ear, you just fill out that leave at home withdraw at own request form, like just leave. But there's no, and I don't know if that is encouragement, but that sounds like encouragement to me. Just adjust it. Don't give in to the pain. Tweak it a little bit. You got somebody in your ears, like sort of trying to give you tips almost. There's none of that in the New Zealand or the Australian selection. Like, you got to figure it out. Here's the standard. Here's the movements that you need to do, and you need to do it. And if you're not doing that, you're just getting written up, and you're wondering the whole time, bloody hell, am I doing well? Do they hate me? Like, what's going on? And that plays with all the candidates' minds, even those that pass.
This entire PT has been a joke. There hasn't been a single evolution that you have performed during the course of this PT that has even remotely resembled perfection. Everything has been sad, weak, and unreadable. And it's all because you're inside your tiny little brains self-defeating yourself.
Think I'm good looking?
Should have done it the first time, dumbass.
What are you doing? Where are you going?
After an hour, instructors show no sign of letting up. Their intention is for each student to question his reason for being here.
Hey, what is wrong with you? Nothing's wrong.
The instructors realize nobody will drop out in the first hour. The quitting will begin as soon as the realization sets in that this is only the beginning.
Thumbs up on that bar, do one pull-up. Thumbs up on top.
Yeah, you're looking for them to put out, that's all. Just give us everything you got, and that's fine. And you can tell if they're not giving you everything they got. You can tell. You see that guy who's he's not doing all his push-ups. He's falling down on his knees, and then you tell him to bear crawl around, and all of a sudden he's got all this energy.
Pull up. Pull it up. Get up there.
Dismount.
Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Keep going. Keep going. Look at all that extra strength you had. Oh, my God.
Class 234 is no different from any other Buds class before it. For the most part, students range in age from 17 to 29 years old. Everyone is a volunteer.
Get on the bar there, butter.
What was that?
29 Buds class before it. For the most part, students range in age from 17 to 29 years old. Everyone is a volunteer.
Get on the bar there, butter.
17. 17 to 29 years old. 17, that's young. Man, I don't know of any anybody, well, there isn't, because you can't join the New Zealand or the Australian Army till you're at least the minimum age of 18 years of age. I don't know what it is in the UK. Clearly, you can be 17. I don't know. How old can you be then to join the American Defence Force? So if you're on Navy SEAL selection at 17, surely you've joined. Have you joined at 16? Have you spent at least a few months, I assume, doing your normal basic training to get to whichever unit you're going to? Army, Marines, or Navy, Air Force, whatever it is. And then after your basic training, I'm assuming there's some sort of, what we have in New Zealand, Australia, some sort of core training that solidifies your specific role, the core that you've joined up for, whether you've joined as infantry, communications, logistics, driver, tankies, whatever. And then from there, then you would put in an application to go in at some point to then go on to an SAS selection or Special Forces selection. So 17, that's young as. Man. Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, I wanted to join the unit at 14. I just, for me, I don't think I would have been physically ready and capable, and definitely probably not mature enough either, mentally. So that's crazy. 17 to 29. Anyway.
You should be all rested up by now. Maybe you can get one.
Each student has his own reasons for being at Buds.
All right, there's one.
I came here to Buds to be part of the best team around. I like having my buddies that I can depend on, and I would like for them to be able to depend on me.
Nothing's promised here. You can only try your best.
Just want to be one of the best of the best. Wanted to see if I can measure up to one of the toughest things out there.
As dawn breaks over the exercise area, nicknamed the Grinder, the instructors see each student clearly for the first time.
Excuse me, Mr. Holly. Get it up!
Get out of here! Get up there!
What's up with these officers?
Get up there!
Shoemaker and Holly are officers who are drawing attention from instructors who demand that SEAL officers lead by example.
That's what they need. That's what they're asking for.
Hey,
Just
you
dismount, Holly. Go get wet.
hit the surf zone. You don't even want to put out.
We got 8 weeks to work with them, and you can scream and holler.
Get up, Brown!
Man, yeah, there's a lot of screaming and in your face type stuff here on this one. I'm assuming that's normal. Must be normal for the American SF selection route. And clearly it works for them in their process. So just because in New Zealand and Aotearoa and in Australia they don't do that, I'm pretty sure they're the same in the UK. Just because they don't get so in your face, nowhere near, nothing like this, like what I'm seeing in the first 5 minutes. Doesn't mean it's not effective. Clearly it works for the American process, and like I've mentioned in other videos, each country will have their process of selection and what they need to meet their requirements that suits them. And clearly they get the types of candidates and operators that they feel they need. So interesting though.
I'm hoarse already, and it's not going to work. You got to let the time take care of it. And usually the same names will show up.
Hey, stud boy. Hey, this is stud. Grinder. Get up there. You better be a heck of a runner, Grinder, because you're lousy at this. Come on.
Ruthless. They're just laughing at him, right, and not straight front on in his face, but basically in his face off to the side. That I can tell you now, that will be demoralizing. It'll either be demoralizing for the individual, or internally he's going, you know what, F you, I will still be here at the end. I know what I'm here for, and I know that as I would have been, I know you would have struggled. 100% know you as an instructor would have struggled where I am right now. So that would spur me on, just hearing somebody laugh at me like that. I wouldn't be able to get, you don't get angry and start getting upset and trying to have a verbal confrontation with the instructor, because that's just, see you later. You're not suitable for the unit. You need to learn how to manage that and internalize that yourself and deal with it and just keep going. And then laugh about it down the track. You remember when you were cracking up at me? He'll probably remind him, man, I remember how pathetic you looked in trying to do the bar dips. You remember me laughing in your face, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's funny to see that.
Nice work.
If the same names keep showing up and all these first staff feel that, this guy's not going to cut it, then he's going to get a little extra pressure. It's been a whole minute since your name's been yelled out too there, Shoemaker.
Up, down, up, 2, down, up, 3.
Oh, come on, Shoemaker.
Lock it out.
Get on up there.
Lock it out.
Lock it out there, stud boy.
Lock it out.
All the way down, all the way up. 5, 6.
Lock it out, stud boy. Get on up there. Who's that guy up front there? Hoffman.
Get up! Get up there! You're supposed to lead by example.
Shoemaker. Oh, you remain there, Shoemaker. Get on up there, stud boy.
Despite Shoemaker and Holly's obvious distress, Bud's is not about humiliation.
Whatever you have to do, kick, scream, fight. I don't care if you have to chew on that thing. Get up there!
That's a lot of encouragement. I mean, like that's yelling, but that's encouragement at the same time. Yeah, it's to me, it's crazy. It's crazy to me to see that, to hear it, because not having come from that in the selection course and in the process, like you just don't get that. You've got to find it within yourself to keep going, to whether it's to get up, whether it's to do a pull up, whether it's to climb the rope, whether it's to do the dips in this case, or the push-ups. You have to find it yourself. Interesting.
Get up there! You're starting to realize the kind of effort you have to give here. Thing is, it's not cutting it for you right now.
Neither is this a survivor contest where the winners manipulate their way to victory. No man can buy his way into this program. Leadership is essential to class unity. Geddes is the officer in charge for Class 234. A 3-year veteran from the fleet, he is the leader the class relies on for stability.
OIC, officer in charge. I'm just responsible for the welfare of the men out here.
This is what I wanted to do for a long time. This is the best job there is in the Navy. Working with highly motivated individuals and people who want to be here. If you want to narrow it down, it has to be the best job there is.
8, 9, 10, 11.
After breakfast, a class muster reveals that one student is gone. Less than 3 hours into day 1, and 234 suffers its first drop-on request, or DOR. The word spreads quickly, but there is no time for questions or reaction.
DOR, drop-on request. That must be the same as the Australian withdraw at own request. Quitting, giving up. Identifying and realizing this isn't for them. This isn't what they thought they wanted.
What up, Butters?
When Geddes learns that a student has dropped out, he has no time to worry about it.
We're moving.
With the different ages and maturity levels in the class,
Nothing you can do about that. If a person's withdrawing and you're on a selection course, like they said, he doesn't have time. He's the OIC, officer in charge or person in charge of their group, the welfare, as he was talking about. Bro, like this is a selection course to get to a unit where you need to be highly self-driven and motivated. You need to turn up prepared physically, mentally, ready to get to work, ready to do this job. It's expected that people are going to drop out. So same in New Zealand and in Australia, when people drop out, we're not going around trying to talk them into staying. Just no time for that. And you don't want to have to be spending your time and energy trying to convince somebody to keep going. Because then if you end up with those people on your task, on patrol, and a badge, there's operators within the unit, you're just making more work for yourself. You need people that you know and that you can rely on and trust that are going to push themselves no matter what.
it's going to be a long day. and 234 must remain focused on the next evolution, the timed 4-mile run.
Hey, listen up, we got this run going on now. After the run, people who pass probably stretch out. Those people who fail probably get beat for a while. And 60% of the people that fail this run today will not make it through Hell Week.
Hell Week, 5.5 days of misery. The instructors tell the students again that failure for most is a statistical destiny. Any student unable to complete the 4-mile run in 32 minutes or less before Hell Week begins 2 weeks hence will be performance dropped from training.
4-mile run on the beach, in boots, long pants, a mix of probably hard sand, soft sand, 32 minutes to complete. That's tough. That's pushing it.
For half the class, this is their first time at Buzz. For the rest, it is their second, third, and even fourth try. For Rivera, the class LPO, or leading petty officer, at 29 years of age, this will be his third
and clearly the water as well, so I left that out. I said a mix of firm sand, soft sand. Bloody hell. They clearly have to run along that route, or unless they're just choosing to, where the instructors know water's going to wash up on and they're going to be forced to run through that. Now you got your wet feet, your socks and boots are full of water and sand. Yeah, that's rough.
and final try to graduate.
I was actually in Buds in 1995. I quit. Mentally, I just wasn't ready. I was in the last class, and I got rolled back in Hell Week. I feel out of everything that I've done in the Navy, this is what I want the most. I'm thinking I'm going to make it this time.
Examiner.
That's awesome. He quit the first one. Not awesome that he quit, but he quit the first one, identified wasn't ready. I think he said he got through to the next one, maybe got withdrawn. I didn't quite hear what happened in Hell Week. And now he's back again. This is what I mean. There are people in NZ in Australia, I don't know about the UK, but that have failed selection once, twice. There may even be some people that have failed 3 times and gone back and eventually passed and gotten badged and served because that's how badly they want it. And that's testament, man. That's huge respect for anybody that fails any SF selection course and goes back and does it again and again and again until they get there. Says a lot about the person.
32:48. Nobody passed today. All right. And they have some fast runners that will pass or with no problem on a good beach.
Wow, 32:48. Nobody passed that day.
Go. And we know that. All right. But today it's day 1.
Casey, 32:52.
It's hello, this is Buds, and we're not here to mollycoddle anybody.
Did I tell you to go? Drop down. What did I just tell you? You come in, you give me your name, you check in with your time, and then I'll tell you to go. You don't start making up your own rules around here.
Pretty simple instruction. So, bro, just wait until you're told to get out of my face. Don't just leave because you're, I don't know, uncomfortable or thinking that, I need to get out of here. I don't want to keep standing here. Follow the instructions. Even then, you can still get it wrong.
Casey. 35-53. Surf some. Go get wet. Run!
We want these guys to dig down, give us everything they've got. The time isn't so important to us. The time isn't what it's about. What it's about is to see the guys are digging down and giving us everything they've got and showing us that they have the intestinal fortitude to punch through it.
And you look at these guys, same in NZ, same in Australia. They're not ripped. They're not ripped bodybuilding type people. Like, they just look like average guys, everyday people, but just have a strong desire to want to serve within the Special Forces unit and do a job that not many people want to do and that not many people can do.
The only thing out of this timed run that you're going to end up benefiting from is the fact that now you know what it means to be wet and sandy. If I ever tell you to get wet and sandy again, or anybody in the instructor staff does, you get wet and sandy from head to toe. just like you are now. You're completely covered. A lot of people don't understand what Sandy is because they don't pay attention to detail. They don't discipline themselves to get fully Sandy. You do know that now, right? You know it now because you failed the run and we got you Sandy. So you still end up benefiting in one little way.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're supposed to be the strong one, one that people look up to. I wouldn't even want to be under your leadership in a real team in the unlikely event you make it. Because of your weakness, you could get yourself and teammates killed in a real life situation. You better figure out if you want to be here or not. You got a long way to go.
Geddes is singled out for being physically unprepared when he reported to training. As the OIC, he is an obvious choice for close-up scrutiny from SEAL instructors. Although SEAL training is the same for both officers and enlisted men, BUDS instructors are experienced SEAL operators who hold their officers to a higher standard.
Pressure is just always there for me. I mean, I'm always feeling some kind of pressure, especially as the OIC.
I want you to take a look. You got your chest here. I got under your neck. I see your arm here. You got told to get Sandy. Yeah. That means from head to toe. You're an officer as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Pay attention to detail. All right,
Yeah.
You got to discipline yourself to do that. You got to do that so the guys are going to follow you. If you get given an order, it means do it properly the first time. Get Sandy.
Yeah. I guess the hardest thing to do is constantly stay motivated so you can complete every evolution and make sure you do it and just keep going every day.
In between your legs.
Geddes will get continuous pressure until he proves he is fit to lead. It is a challenge that he must win or risk losing control of Class 234 and being dropped from training.
You're an officer. Make sure you're leading from the front. You're
I'm going to pause this there. This is coming up to 30 minutes. This is awesome. I'm so far 13 minutes into it, 27 minutes on thereabouts. Cool to see. Look forward to doing another reaction to this video tomorrow or a couple of days' time. Got a couple of other things that I need to do. But yeah, interesting. Very clear instructions, which is the same on the selections that I've done in New Zealand and Australia. Very easy to understand. But when you're fatigued, when you're tired, when you're sleep deprived, when you're hungry and you've got no food in your stomach, it can be difficult to follow those simple instructions, but not impossible. I don't know how sleep deprived they are, and or how much or how little food they've been getting. From what I understand, I can't see this Navy SEALs 6-month BUDS training being like the selection portion of the New Zealand and Australian one, where you have so in NZ there's sort of a 10-day period where you're significantly sleep deprived, physically just smashed with a whole bunch of not only PT but then kilometers that you've got to cover, and you have very, very little food. So you're hungry, you're tired, you're weak, and you've got to cover hundreds of kilometers over those times, and under the scrutiny of directing staff and lots of punishments and everything else that comes along with that as required. Australia similar. Both of those you then go on to a cycle of training after. So in NZ it might be anywhere from 8 to 12 months, the cycle of training. Australia sort of similar, anywhere from 8 to 12 or maybe 8 to 18 months, depending on what the needs are. Where you cover off on everything else, your parachuting, resistance to interrogation, your insertion skills, whether you're water, free fall, vehicle mounted, mountain troop, etc. Demolitions, just counter-terrorism, bush and jungle phase, just everything, and it's awesome. So this 6 months, I'm assuming it's probably going to cover a lot of that stuff, so I don't think that they've been massively, I could be wrong, I don't think they've been massively sleep deprived and or going without food for extended periods of time for, up to 10 days or more. But they could be. So if I am, let me know if at this stage, the 5 or 6 week mark that they're in now, if that's what happens, then let me know. I'd love to know. But yeah, we'll leave that there, and mad respect to anybody that puts their hand up to want to go and join the Special Forces. Wherever you are, whatever you may be going through, whatever challenges, keep tuning up, stay in the fight, and keep smashing. Until the next video, big mana wave and energy coming to you, positive energy. See you next time.